Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Great weekend, beautiful weekend out there. Hope everybody had a good time. I was able to watch, did everybody watch Michael Phelps Saturday night? That last gold medal as he has retired, that swimming Saturday night. Able to watch that, that was great. There's been more emphasis put on and time spent on the media about the four swimmers that were robbed in Rio, which, you know, we don't want anybody robbed in Rio at gunpoint. We don't want our Olympic athletes robbed in Rio at gunpoint. But how about Milwaukee? How about anywhere in the United States that somebody is being robbed by gunpoint? I mean, we act like we had to go to Rio for somebody to get robbed. Folks, what did Sheriff Clark, is that who his name is, Sheriff Clark in Milwaukee County up there in Wisconsin, what did he say? Misguided misfits. He said they were misguided misfits is what they are. You know, we're going to not gloss over the national news, but don't worry, Donald Trump's not in trouble. He's not in trouble. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the polling numbers. The unnamed sources that say that Trump is having problems and there's chaos within the campaign. This is all a setup by the Democrats and the media. Trump is correct on the media. This is all a setup. The Kasim Reed in Atlanta is taking the Republicans to task for not denouncing Donald Trump. All the above is a setup, okay? So let's not worry about that. Let's not waste our time. But I'm going to tell you what. We've got a serious problem when we don't understand in this country, if the lights go on behind us, okay, and we see lights flashing, all of us, regardless of who we are, if we're Asian, if we're black, if we're white, if we're male or we're female, we all say the same thing. Oh, that's it. Maybe some of you don't say that, but you look up there and you say, oh, there you go. All right? It's the police. So one, you either look for a place to pull over, or two, you try to outrun them, and if you do, or if you're stopped and you take off running, you understand what the word freeze means. So, sorry folks, the guy turned, he had more rounds in his gun, we're understanding, than the actual police officer that shot him dead. All right, so that incited an opportunity for somebody to break into stores and come out with Cheez-Its. Have you seen a video of the guy's coming out with a whole load of groceries? He's got a box of Cheez-Its. He's going there. They're looting, burning down because of this. Folks, we got a major problem in the inner cities. And here's the thing, is we know it outside the inner city. And we'll talk more about that. So let's not worry too much. But here's something I want to do. We're going to do our opening story. We're going to have Carla's Corner. Let's text Carla to remind her, because last week she was early and that really concerned me. But you can see everything across the desk here, and we're going to go into this. First and foremost, I, for one, at FetcherNews.com, BKP, will not overlook the truth based on the person in the story. And you need to stop that today. You need to stop that today if you're out there. All of a sudden, the same media, the same kind of media that when Donald Trump says Second Amendment goes into an uproar, okay, and leads all of their newscasts and headlines with Donald Trump's comments on the Second Amendment and Hillary Clinton. When Donald Trump says that Obama is the creator of ISIS and Hillary is their most valuable player, okay, she's the assistant coach or whatever. This is the same media that sensationalizes that and gets into an uproar over it. And then they say Donald Trump should have been leading the news all week. It should have been leading the news with Hillary Clinton, pay for play, okay, Clinton Foundation corruption. But guess what? The media has a choice with what they want to run with. So folks, this story concerning Judge Brenda Weaver, the publisher Mark Tomlinson, the district attorney, the JQC, this story has all been directed in the same way they're directing Donald Trump. They're sensationalizing a couple things in this story, okay? And they're not doing the research. I did the research. Now, this is one in many stories we're going to do in this series because we're going to go all the way through it. I spent several hours. There's about 1,000 pages of documents on my desk right here. I maybe 500. We'll go with 500 pages of documents. These binders is the entire file of the district attorney's office on this case. I have read every sheet on this desk approximately 3 times this weekend. All right, and have gone through it. So I want to start by saying, remember the subpoena and remember the open records request. And we're going to start today's series on maybe how did we get here and who got this ball rolling. Now remember, it starts with the N-word. Judge Roger Bradley used the N-word in the courtroom, which resulted in them saying that Rhonda Stubblefield, the court reporter, may have, and we'll do that in our series also, may have altered the audio and the transcript, all the above. But let's start with this. I'm going to read this and then we're going to start. This is the email that was sent to Robert Jones, the chairman of Pickens County. Okay? This is the email that was sent. The open records request. I wanted to begin by saying, this is from Mark Tomlinson, the publisher. I wanted to begin by saying I was unable to find a place on your website to file an open records. This being said, I trust that you will forward this request to appropriate department. Under the Georgia Open Records Act, I need to request copies of actual, now listen to this, folks. I need to request copies of actual cleared checks, front and back, that Pickens County has written to Judge Brenda Weaver and Judge Roger Bradley for Pickens County's portion of the quarterly operating account expenses for judges from 2013, 14, and 15. Now, this is where an accusation is made in one word. They're taking one word and saying it maybe wasn't quite an accusation on the judge's credibility. Currently, I am acquiring all checks from all 3 counties in this circuit after reviewing only the checks written on behalf of Fannin County for 2015 year and finding that, we're going to break down words, finding that according to several banks, now, according to several banks, finding that, according to several banks, some of these checks appear, okay, that's the word they're hanging on, to have not been deposited but cashed illegally, okay? An accusation that checks have been cashed illegally, an accusation that several banks have said, according to several banks, his findings are. So, we're going to talk about Ruth Jordan later at Community and Southern Bank. We're going to talk about that. But where does Mark Tomlinson get the impression that the checks are cashed illegally? Where does he get the checks that he's questioning? And media, where are the checks? Every single check from Brenda Weaver, Judge Bradley, Amanda Messiers is in here. Every single one. Every one. I looked at every check individually. Every one I looked at this weekend. Every one. Every single check I looked at. Where's the AJC? Where's the Chattanooga Free Press? Where is any of the media? Where's the checks illegally cashed? Not finding those. Not finding those. So, let's start our series on day 1. This will be important to the whole entire story, okay? We cannot allow, whether you like Brenda Weaver, the district attorney, that's irrelevant. You don't have to like them today. You can dislike Judge Weaver. You can dislike B. Allison Sosby. You can dislike me. But that will not replace the truth And that's what is concerning to me on a lot of you that I see posting is replacing the truth. It's just because it's a judge. We're not going to do that here. So let's look at where this may have started. First of all, let's look at Dawson Associates. And we're going to break this down over days. Let's go to graph 1. How much do the citizens of Fannin County, okay, that's got the whole entire screen. Was that the intention? Oh, so me to get out of the way. Okay, all right. Dawson Associates receive, in 2015, they've received from Fannin County Water Authority, okay, they've received from Fannin County Water Authority $71,233.75. Dawson Associates. That is Lynn and Harry Doss. Okay? Now, let me say something before we go to our second one. Don't go to the second one yet. Let me say something. The Fannin County Water Authority went through a lot in the last several years to get started. There was a lot of right-of-ways that they had to secure. We're not going to say that there are not some reasons for the bill to be a little high. We will let you decide that. But the facts are, in 2015, Dawson Associates received $71,233.75 from the Fannin County Water Authority. Now let's go to number 2. Dawson Associates received in 2015 from as the Fannin County attorney $68,500.08. Did you lose me in that, Lonnie? And did you lose my audio? Even though the picture's up, are people still hearing my audio? Okay. Dawson Associates received in 2015 as the Fannin County attorney $68,500.08. Okay? Let's go to number 3. There you go. I can move back in. Okay. Before we go there, Dawson Associates received in 2015 as Fannin County Board of Education attorney $16,050. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Dawson Associates received in 2015 as the Fannin County Juvenile Indigent Public Defender, and we're going to go back to that in a minute, $48,000. Go to the next one. Dawson Associates, attorney at law, received a grand total from the taxpayers in 2015 of Fannin County $203,783.83. Should I repeat that for you? Dawson Associates, attorney at law, received a grand total from taxpayers in 2015, the Fannin County taxpayers, $203,783.83. Now, let's go to the next one. Okay, that being said, those are the totals of everything for 2015 of the checks. I went through every one. Let me show you here. I got all of the documents right here that back up everything I have put on this screen this morning. Okay, $203,783 is what was received at Dawson Associates last year. Can we go to the next one now? Okay, now I'm going to give you the reason we're working this up and putting this together. Where did Mark Tomlinson get the impression, get the checks, and get the impression that checks have been cashed? Where did he get that impression that the checks were cashed? See, he says, according to several banks. Now, we're going to go into that as the week goes on. Are we ready for our next one? Give me the next Lonnie's got my next one. Dawson Associates, now look at here. Dawson Associates in 2016, they are the Fannin Probate Court Public Defender. Now they're the public defender in the probate court. $834 a month they receive. A total of $10,008 per year they receive from the probate court of Fannin County as public defender. Okay? Judge Scott Kiker is the probate judge. Now the public defender's budget for the probate judge in Fannin County is $3,000. I have that right here. The public defender's budget for the probate court is $3,000. He is over budget. I think we missed something in there. $7,000. Is it? What's the number?
The public defender budget is $3,000 over budget. Is what you have up there.
All right. Well, it's $3,000. It's over. It's going to be over budget by $7,008. Right? Yeah, $7,008. The total this year will be $10,008. The budget is only $3,000. It's going to be over budget for Scott Kiker's probate office. Dawson Associates, they're the public defenders now this year. This was, forget, we're talking about 2015. Now in 2016, they add on the public defender for Scott Kiker, the probate judge. Okay? Only $3,000 in the budget. Going to take $10,000 over to Dawson Associates. You got my next one ready? Give me the next one. So let's recap here. Okay? Dawson Associates at the present time is the Fannin County Board of Commissioners. They represent, Dawson Associates at law represent in Fannin County the Fannin County Board of Commissioners, the Fannin County Board of Education, the Fannin County Water Authority, the Fannin County Juvenile Indigent Public Defender, the Fannin County Probate Court Public Defender, which is probate Judge Scott Kiker, is co-counsel with Lynn Dawson Associates in private cases. Shall I repeat that? Pay attention to this. And you wonder about the tangled web, and we will get further into that. Dawson Associates, attorney at law, represents. Let's look at the Fannin County Juvenile Indigent Public Defender. $44,000 a year. Pull that section up that we cropped out. Now this is important. This is going to be important. Pull the section up. We're pulling the section up now. We cropped out. The Appalachian Judicial Circuit has an intergovernmental agreement. Okay? Intergovernmental agreement between Pickens County, Gilmer County, and Fannin County. Okay? Now, what that means is every county has to have a juvenile indigent public defender. Every county has to have that. That is the law. The Constitution says you have to have a public defender. You have the right to do a defense. The state of Georgia said that you cannot use rotation judges any longer, and every circuit in the state of Georgia has to, per county, provide an indigent juvenile public defender. So, number 4 in that says, any attorney recommended for employment by the above referred panel and subsequently hired by the county's Board of Commissioners shall agree to provide the services described above throughout the circuit, and upon appointed to said case by juvenile court judge, said attorney shall also agree, now listen to this, said attorney shall also agree not to have any other legal employment other than what is described in this agreement. That agreement is signed by all 3 commissioners of all the 3 counties, Gilmer, Fannin, and Pickens. It's signed. That is the complete, you're not supposed to have anything outside of that. Now go to the one, can you go back to the one that says Dawson Associates, $44,000 public, okay?
One more back.
No, that's not it. The one that's $44,000 for public indigent care. Okay. No, that's not it either. You have all, no, you have all of them up there. I don't need the list. I want the one for $44,000. Were they 48? Yes. I want that one up. Sorry, folks. This is working. Lonnie's doing a great job. Dawson Associates received in 2015 as Fannin County Juvenile Indigent Public Defender $48,000. What's that mean? Now go to the probate judge public defender one. The one for $10,000, the one for $834. Go to that one. Dawson Associates in 2016, Fannin County Probate Court Public Defender for $834 a month. You can't do that. That's against the rule. You cannot have any other cases outside of that, period. You're not even supposed to private practice according to that agreement. But you cannot be the juvenile indigent care for the public defender's office and then turn out to be the public defender in the probate court at an additional cost of $834. You can't do that. Not supposed to. That being said, okay, go to the one that wraps them all together. Huh? Okay, there you go. Dawson Associates, one more time, represents Fannin County Board of Commissioners, Fannin County Board of Education, Fannin County Water Authority, Fannin County Juvenile Indigent Public Defender, Fannin County Probate Court Public Defender. Probate Judge Scott Kiker is co-counsel with Dawson Associates in private cases. Let me explain that to you. Scott Kiker is the probate judge. He promised the citizens of Fannin County that he would be a full-time probate judge. Okay? But guess what? He has so many private cases if you look into it. But interesting enough, Scott Kiker is co-counsel with Dawson Associates in private cases. One being in Cobb, one being in Cherokee County. So if you're out there, I have those cases on my desk also. Okay? They are co-counsel on private cases. So you've got the judge is co-counsel with the public defender, which is the county attorney. Now I'll wrap this up. I did an open records request. For the probate judge, Scott Kiker. So who do I get a letter back from? I get a letter back from Dawson Associates, Lynn Doss, as the county attorney representing the probate judge. Interesting. But she's also his co-counsel. And her husband is also the public defender, Dawson Associates. I guess where there is to be said, they're intertangled in about everything that moves in that county one way or the other. If you get water, yes. Lynn Doss lit this candle. If you're wondering on this whole entire case, you remember, according to several banks, some of the checks appear. Well, I'm here to tell you this morning, this entire case this morning, Lynn Doss lit this candle. Okay? Absolutely. Take that down. I'm going to wrap up by telling you, it don't matter what you touch, whether it's water, county attorney, board of education, they are tied all the way through it. Okay? All the way through it. Now, why is that important to start this? Because tomorrow we're going to look at the JQC order that was in place where charges were about to be filed on Judge Oliver Harris Doss Jr., which is Harry, we all know as Harry, that he resigned from the bench. Okay? And why the summary of that? Because allegedly he had used his operating account, okay, to pay out things like Christmas bonuses, buy laptops, one thing after another. Allegedly used his operating account. So guess what? When Lynn Doss heard that Rhonda Stubblefield's accounts, legal fees had been paid out of an operating account, that was her opportunity. That's just my opinion. We will get more into that tomorrow. Lynn Doss lit this candle. Lynn Doss and Scott Kiker are involved with the FBI. Okay? And the reason this email got sent is because I have the other emails where Mark Thomason talks about his conversations with the county attorney. That's exactly right. So I have gone through every check. I can't find the ones that have been cashed. I can't find them. Gone through every single one. I have looked at everything here. Okay? Can't find them. But tomorrow I'll tell you why I think Lynn Doss lit this candle, and we'll go further into it. And Rhonda Stubblefield, does the judge have the right, I don't know, to pay her attorney's fee? Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. We'll look at that tomorrow. We'll look at how maybe Judge Christian maybe dropped the ball by not awarding. We'll look at her answer tomorrow. What did Judge Martha Christian say when she ended the case where Mark Tomlinson was claiming the audio was altered? What did she say? Rumor, all those words were not a basis of evidence. So if in her own decision she lines this out, why did she not award the attorney's fees for Rhonda Stubblefield? Maybe Judge Christian must have dropped the ball on this one. I'm just saying. Because folks, I'm telling you over and over, you look at all the publications, no matter where you're reading an article on this, they want you to believe that Mark Tomlinson and Russell Stuckey were tossed in jail on a Friday night, and they're the first ones in the entire country that was tossed in jail on a Friday night and got out on Saturday. There's thousands across this country that happens to. And they want you to believe that this is some journalist that's in some foreign country that we cannot get out of prison and we're trying to negotiate. See, the thing is they think they got a judge. And regardless of whether you like the person involved in the story, always remember you can't let that alter the truth of the story and the facts. Oh, by the way, I thought I would bring this up at this appropriate time. Johnny James Searcy, that would be Chief of Police, City of Blue Ridge. Johnny James Searcy, certified by receipt from the Georgia Government Transparency and Campaign Finance Commission. In the matter of Johnny James Searcy, case number, he's got a case number, 2016-0050. Dear Mr. Searcy, enclosed you will find a copy of a sworn complaint filed by me. It was me. I filed it. That's right. On August 9, 2016, which alleges that you have violated the Georgia Government Transparency and Campaign Finance Act. That's what I did, Johnny. I said you violated it, and I sent facts. You have 30 days to respond in writing if you should choose to do so. For your consideration, here's all the above. Going forward, the staff will receive the complaint to determine if there is basis to proceed forward with further prosecution. I sent, this is for Johnny, this is for Larry Joe Bennett, and this one's for Jack Doyle Taylor. According to the Fannin Focus, according to the number of ads in the Fannin Focus advertising sheet, there's a total of approximately $14,000 worth of advertising that doesn't happen to show up on their campaign finance reports nowhere. That's right, we went through them. They don't show up, but about $14,000 worth of advertising went in. Possibly the manipulation of an election. We can't allow that in the press. So for the same people that are screaming that the press is taking on and trying to destroy Donald Trump, manipulate an election, you should look at it right in your hometown. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm going to clear the desk out. We're going to have Carla's Corner in here in just a minute. And then after that, George will be in here at 9 o'clock, and we might talk some national politics. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go the next. And you can find this on FetcherNews.com, because between Cole and Lonnie, they're going to get it up, and this is going to be a series, and you can find this series. We started today with Who Lit This Candle? Lynn Doss. Oh, by the way, Ms. Doss, I think you should resign, effective immediately. Go to break.